Hi guys, this is Mike, and I wanted to talk about justifiable use of deadly force. In Illinois, we've got concealed carry about to be rolled out here June 9th, one way or another, thanks to the Federal Appeals Court. And a lot of people are wondering, well, what is justifiable use of force? When can I shoot someone? And when the question is phrased that way, it always makes me very leery. I'm an NRA, a certified NRA firearms instructor, and in one of my classes, a guy talked to me and said, I don't understand aiming. If I have to aim, why am I shooting the guy? If he's far enough away where I have to aim, I shouldn't be shooting him. And I thought, that's a great point. So let's talk about justifiable use of force. And if the only time you should ever shoot somebody it should be so clear cut that you don't have to worry about what are the police or the lawyers going to do. And typically we hope that would be the yardstick that you use, and that would keep you safe. But before I go any further, I want to say this. I am not a lawyer. And even when you go on the Illinois State website and you look at the laws, the first thing they put on there is a little disclaimer saying, it's hard updating these laws, and this website might not be accurate. We might not have updated it with the most recent law. Give me a break. So the fact is, anybody that you listen to, you need to take it with a grain of salt, and you need to check it yourself. Because if I give you bad advice and you end up in jail, I'm not going to be in the jail cell with you, and I'm not even going to visit you and bring you a cake with a file in it. So you're on your own. You probably know that. But I wanted to have this discussion so I can point out some things. And 3 things I want to point out. First of all, there's a lot of very, very bad information out there. Guys will tell you things authoritatively. I had a guy in a gun shop the other day tell me that a Texas concealed carry permit, if you're carrying concealed in Texas, and the cop can look at your shirt and he can see that your weapon is printing, or you can see a rough outline of the gun, then you're in violation of their concealed carry weapons permit law, and they'll issue you a ticket. 2 tickets, you lose your license. I looked that up online, and it's not true, even though I was told authoritatively this by a guy in a gun shop. So 3 things to tell you. The first is there's a lot of information out there that people will tell you it's just not true. So you've got to be very careful about what you listen to. Someone else told me authoritatively that in Illinois, if you're in your house and someone breaks in the front door and you're standing by the back door, you have a duty to run out the back door before you defend yourself. And that's just crazy enough to sound accurate in the People's Republic of Illinois. But that's not in the law. So, 3 points to tell you. Number 1, don't believe everything you hear. Check everything. Second of all, let's look at the letter of the law. And then third of all, we'll look at why the letter of the law doesn't really matter too much. So, if you look at the letter of the law, the justifiable use of deadly force is, there are 2 times when you're justified. Number 1, regardless of where you're at, if you believe that your life is in imminent danger or you're in danger of great bodily harm, you are permitted to, justified in the use of deadly force. So, I'm a pretty big guy. If a 85-year-old grandmother in a wheelchair with no arms threatened to kill me, I'm probably going to have a hard time selling that to a judge or a jury, that I was justified in the use of deadly force against 85-year-old grandma in a wheelchair with no arms. On the other hand, if you're a woman who's 5'2" and there's a big guy who breaks into your house and he's got a club or a baseball bat, now that's a different story. So you've got to be in reasonable fear of losing your life or being at great bodily harm. The second time that you're justified in the use of deadly force, according to statute, is if you're in your home and someone breaks in. And I believe the words are, they break in forcefully, in a tumultuous or riotous manner. In other words, you can't let the guy in the door, oh yeah, sure, come on in, and then shoot him. That wouldn't be nice. So the person's got to break in. If the person enters your house because it's a roommate that has a key, or the door's open or something like that, then the law is going to be a little bit more fuzzy. So the first qualification is that it's got to be a forcible entry, and second of all, they have to put you in danger of great bodily harm, or you're in danger of your life, or they're breaking in committing a forcible felony. Now here's where it gets sticky, because if I break into your house and I mean you no harm, I'm just going to steal your TV, that is a forcible felony. So even though you're not in danger of your life, according to the letter of the law, I would be, in that situation, a person is justifiable in the use of lethal force. So, the letter of the law. Should I take comfort in what the law says? Absolutely not, especially not in the People's Republic of Illinois. Here's an example. The statute in Illinois for a divorce with irreconcilable differences states that there has to be a 2-year waiting period from the time the divorce is filed until the divorce is granted, unless both parties agree to waive it. However, if you talk to any divorce lawyer, they will tell you that judges don't follow that. Judges want to get the divorces done, moved along, and off their plate. So that even if one person is objecting to the divorce, if it's irreconcilable differences, the judge will say, okay, yeah, you object, whatever, let's get this done. And they totally disregard the law. Divorce lawyers will tell you it's stupefying, but that's just the way it's done. So, if you're in the People's Republic of Illinois, should you comfort yourself that your use of lethal force was justifiable according to the letter of the law? Absolutely not. The fact is, you're going to be at the mercy of the police officer and the prosecutor who are on the case. If the police officer shows up and decides, because of his misinterpretation of the facts, he had a bad day, he didn't have breakfast, his wife yelled at him, his dog pooped on the floor, whatever. If he decides to put the bracelets on you and take you off to jail, good luck. Because once you're arrested, it's set in motion, you're going to have to get a lawyer, and even if you win, you've already lost. Because a lawyer's going to cost you a lot of money, not to mention getting bonded out of jail. The second thing is, they may not charge you right away, but they might ask a state's attorney to look at the case, and depending again upon the mood of the state's attorney and the way the facts are represented to them, they may decide to make an example of you for whatever reason, and they may decide to charge you. So, even if you feel completely justified in the use of force, and according to the letter of the law, you could be charged, and now you lose because you've got to get a lawyer, but eventually you get off, okay? Or the letter of the law says that you're okay, but the way the judge decides to interpret the law is a little bit different, and now you're not okay and you get convicted. So, do you trust our legal justice system or our criminal justice system, or do you want to be, no pun intended, bulletproof? You want to be bulletproof. Don't shoot somebody unless you have to. You don't shoot him because you can. If you're a young, dumb kid who's macho and using his gun to make up for some other deficiencies in his character to make himself feel better, then you'll be more likely to pull the trigger because you think you can. But even if you escape the legal ramifications, you're going to see that dead person crumpled up in a pool of blood in your mind's eye for the rest of your life. So, with all that to say, be in a position where you don't have to shoot. And if you do think you're justified to shoot, in the heat of the moment, if you've done all of your mental work ahead of time, shouldn't even have to think. The only reason you pull the trigger is because you're in fear of your life. Instinctively you pull the trigger. If you've got to think about it, you might not be in fear of your life. So, with that, I invite you to go to my Facebook page. Please like it, even if you're not from Illinois. It's facebook.com/Illinois Concealed Carry. I've got concealed carry information there, cool videos, funny pictures, and a lot of good stuff. I would love, even if you're not from Illinois, if you like my Facebook page. I'd appreciate that. So with that, you have a great day, and I'll see you next time.